Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the session. As we all know, the session is one of the very interesting and hot topic for these days, where we all are connecting virtually, working virtually, and so it's very much required for all of us, especially for the trainers and the people who are working with into HR or any other sector as well. So the Google Form application is very much required, and that's why Mr. Arun has come in, and he is a trained and expert in this particular topic. Uh, and you can see the takeaways also, which is mentioned on the slide. So before we start, I'll just quickly, inform about Mr. Arun, who is with us today. So Mr. Arun Kumar is 20 plus years of experience into information technology. Um so he experienced in requirement gathering, implementations, integrations, training, content writing, product development, post production support, pre sales, and project management. So that's a huge area in which he was working. He worked with for the clients in India, in Middle East, Southeast Asia, United States, in healthcare, automotive, manufacturing verticals, and ERP horizontal. So that's a vast knowledge he is possessing with him. And he's a secretary for Healthcare Standards Institute and member of HL7 India Technical Committee, and also working as a wellness coach for past 5 years. So two diverse segments he is working into, a diverse personality with us, Mr. Arun Kumar. Over to you, Arun. If I missed anything, you can please inform us about you and you can start your session.
Thanks a lot, Swati, for the introduction. Uh, and my experience is very, very small in compared to the various other trainers that I have seen in this particular training. Uh, Thanks to my wife, Shweta, who introduced me to this concept of the lunchtime training. And I have attended a few of the sessions, and it's been really wonderful. And I am taking this opportunity from being an audience to a trainer. It's been quite so long that I have done corporate training. So if there are any small mistakes, kindly excuse. Um, Now, this is exactly what Swati mentioned. I have close to 20 plus years of experience in information technology, and exactly what she said. And in addition to being in information technology, I'm a wellness coach too. Uh, my interest in information technology, I have seen various technologies over my 20 years of experience. The best way of learning any technology or any tool is what I feel as making a cut in the industry. First, we are introduced as a customer. Next, we become a user of the technology. And then later, some of us become teachers of that technology. Uh, what my idea to this particular group is that you guys are going to do this exactly the same thing. And this is how I am going to demonstrate Google Forms. Uh, so I started as a customer. I saw at one point of time I had to fill up a survey on Google Forms. Then went on to research of what a Google Forms is, and I use Google Forms quite a bit in my work. And now I'm teaching that Google Forms to you guys. So what you are going to take away today is that first we are going to learn about basics of Google Form via survey, and next is about enrollments, and the third one is about a quiz form. Uh, don't worry about what the bullet points that are mentioned over here. You're going to learn them, and it's not rocket science. Believe me, after seeing this, you will all surely try it yourself and learn much more than what is going to be taught today. So having said that, I'm going to stop this particular share, and I hope you guys can see me now on my video. Like I said, the best way is first to be a customer. Now, I hope all of you are there on the WhatsApp group. So whoever is there on the WhatsApp group is going to receive a link right now. Just give me a second. I will give you 5 minutes to fill up this particular survey form. Okay, and basis that, after 5 minutes, I will restart my session.
Mr. Arun, sorry to interrupt. Are we going to get some kind of a recap handout at the end of the session?
Swati, can you take this question, please?
Yeah, sure. Is that Priya who questioned?
Priya Srinivas here. I just want to know if we are going to get some kind of recap, kind of a handout or something like that. Do you guys plan to give something, anything like that?
Yeah, it's not immediately after the session, but we are planning to give a quick reckoner to all the participants who are joining, which I'm going to share in the group. Are you a part of our
Sure.
group?
Yeah. I'm part of the trainers club group. Yeah.
Yes, you will get
Yeah.
it there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Swati.
Welcome.
I realize that not everybody is part of the WhatsApp group, so I have shared the link on chat.
Yes.
So you have 5 minutes to fill up this particular form. Once you're done, you can put a message in the chat.
So it's for whoever just joined. There is a link which is shared by Mr. Arun Kumar in the chat box. Kindly click and fill the form. Arun, can you please reshare the, yeah, thank you.
Nivedana, any reason, what is the error that you're getting? Because most of them, there are quite a number of people who...
Yes, I couldn't click that. While I'm clicking, I couldn't get any options in that. It's not opening.
It should basically open the link in your browser, such as Chrome, and reposting it once again.
Yes, please. I have Chrome. Let me try it again.
In case it does not work, you can copy paste that into the browser, please. Okay, you have been a very wonderful audience. Swati, do I need to give another minute for other people to finish?
I request if someone is still doing it, please inform us. Otherwise, I'll then ask Arun to continue. anyone is still filling it, or I think Arun, you start because it's not a very big form, so they can continue while you are talking.
Right. Now, I hope it was quite easy to fill up the form. Right now, if so, Swati, can they unmute themselves and talk?
Sure,
I just
sure.
wanted a word for a couple of minutes.
But we have to just follow the raise hand or something, because otherwise there will be lots of noise background.
Okay, if you wish to talk, please unmute, talk, and then mute yourself. So how easy was it to fill up the form?
Very easy.
Very easy, sir.
Okay.
Very easy.
How many of you noticed that there were different types of questions? The answer types were different.
I noticed.
What country if India flag? It was different.
There was an image, there were options,
Yes.
there's a mixture of match of so many.
If we would have had to ask our programmers to do such a form, how much time would they take?
Not less than 3-4
At least
1 week.
1 week. Any other answers?
Programmers, it's very easy, Mr. Arun, because they are doing that in and out, I think. So it becomes easy for them. For the non-technical people, I think it becomes a little hard.
I think preparing or giving a radio button or a button is easy, but again, collecting the data at the back end is a bit tough, maybe. I'm not sure. Programming part.
Right. Okay. Now let me demonstrate you. All of you go on mute, please. Swati, if you can mute everybody and unmute me alone.
From my side, all are on mute already.
Okay. Thank you. Now, I'm sharing my screen. You can see that I have received 27 different responses. Okay. And it had name, which is basically a short answer, and an email ID. That is also a short answer, but it is a very special type of email, special type of short answer. Then there's a country of residence where it is a radio button, but with an image. Then you had the next question, which are check boxes, where basically I'm able to check multiple answers. And the next one is called as a linear scale. Now we have understood this as a user. Now let us try to create exactly the same thing. And we'll see as to how much time does it take. Okay. Now I have received 27 different responses. We will go into the responses a little bit later. So whenever you have to create a Google Sheet, so a Google form. So first of all, what is a Google form? Google form is basically an application part of the G Suite. If you have a Gmail ID, you get access to all these tools. Before going into Google Forms itself, how do we know what are the other tools that are available? So let me just try to show that to you. Now, when you have logged in into Chrome, okay, and this is how you can see that I have already logged in because my picture is there and there's a link to my Gmail. You can find these dots, and when you click on them, it shows you the various applications of Google that are available. Now, after you have pulled in for some time, you can see that there's something called as more from Google. When you click on these, on this is the place where you can see that there are various products of Google. Some of them which we may be even using without knowing, like Translate, Search, Chrome, YouTube, so on and so forth. Now, if you come a little bit below, you see the various devices, and after which it's use anywhere. You have the various Android OS, and below that is you have Gmail, Messages, Duo, etc. And here is the place where it comes is you have Docs, Slides, Drive, Sheets, Analytics. And if you look at all the products, this is the kind of products that you actually get by signing up for a Gmail. And out of one of that is Google Forms. Now, how did Google Forms start? Google Forms actually started as an extension to Google Sheets. Most of us are aware of using Excel. So Excel is basically a spreadsheet. And people who have been like me in information technology would have used other spreadsheets like either Lotus 123 or VPP 3D, etc. And most of this generation have been introduced to Excel as a spreadsheet. So similar way, you have Google Spreadsheet 2 or called as Google Sheets. Now from Google Sheets came Google Forms. So that is why you will later see that Google Forms and Google Sheets are very, very tightly integrated. Now, going back to our agenda, our first one is to create basically an survey form. Let us recreate the same survey form where you have some image-based answers and where I can import certain questions and run with the color themes, so on and so forth, collect the email addresses. How do we send a link? And we look at some of the responses and how do we switch off this particular survey sheet? How do we switch off the survey after a given point of time? Now, in order to create a new Google form, it's pretty simple. If you have logged in into Chrome the way how I have done, all you need to do is on the address bar, type form.new. So when you type form.new, it automatically takes you to a new form. Okay. Yeah. So one of the first things that I do is I try to name this form. So let us take this as a survey form. Let me just put it as V2 version 2. Now, whatever I put the header of the form, when I click over here, it copies exactly the same thing. So it's make my life much simpler. And you can see as and when I create, the changes are automatically being saved in my drive. So I don't even, if as I keep working, I don't even need to do a save. It is getting auto saved. Below the name of the form is a form description. Now, when you would have used the form that I had shared with you earlier, you would have seen there's a small text that is there here. This survey form requires personal information, so on and so forth. I'm just in order to save information, I will copy this and going into the new one. And here it says it's an untitled question. Before the untitled question, I want a section where I add a title and description. And this is the place where I put in the text. This is one very good way of informing our users of what this form is about. In addition to the title, there is a description, but this comes as a much bigger text. So the next question was your name. So just type your name. Now, notice over here that the type of the answer changed automatically to short answers. Google Forms has a lot of intelligence built in. So basis the question that you type, it selects the answer type. So these are the various answer types that you can have, such as a short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, so on and so forth. In this particular survey, we are just going to use a short answer, a multiple choice, a checkbox, and as well as a linear scale. So I have asked for a name. Now, every question I can either choose it to be an optional. By default, all questions are optional. But if I wanted to make it mandatory, I click on the required.
Now, there is a raised
asking
hand.
For a
Sorry, there is a raised hand from Amina. I think she has some questions. Are you ready to take questions?
Let me finish this, the logical portion of a survey, and then let me answer the questions, please.
Sorry, I unmuted myself, Arun. I'm very sorry. But I'm just wondering, where on the Google should I find this to start this form? I didn't catch that part. I'm sorry.
if you have login to, first of
Yeah.
all, use Chrome as your browser. And in
Right.
Chrome, you have an option to be logged in,
Okay.
right? If you're logged in, you can see that there's a link called as Gmail.
Correct. Okay.
Now, if you have reached this place, all you need to do in the address bar is type form.new,
Okay.
and it takes you to a new form.
Fair enough.
Okay, this is the simplest, and
This is in the search window.
yes, it's now asking me what are the various things. It's asking me to create the new form now. Okay.
Thank you so much, Arun.
Now,
Thank
the second question that we had was email ID. Now, I'm asking for email ID. It's already giving me a suggestion. Enable email collection setting. I will cover this a little bit later, but in case I have to ask for an email, like I mentioned, this is also a short answer, and I'm going to make it as required. If I want to set any further parameters of this particular question, then I click on these three dots and click on response validation. And over here, I say that this is going to be a text and which is an email address. Now, all of us know that an email address should contain some alphanumeric characters, then @ symbol, followed by some more text, and then a dot, and followed by some text. This is the sequence of letters that it expects. Now, whether that email is valid or not, Google Forms will not validate, but at least it is going to validate that it is in that particular format. So after having created email, now let us jump into the next one. So the next question was country of residence. So country of residence. It's not a short answer, but I want it to be as a multiple choice. Option 1 is India. Now, after I've typed in India, there is a small image over here with like a small mountain. You can click on that and it says add image. Now, this is all the images that is already there. I can either choose an existing one or I can browse for an image. Let me browse for an image, and I have on my desktop a folder created for this tutorial, and under that image I already have a small India flag image.
If we want to take the image directly from Google, that is also possible. We have to download it only before that.
Let me create and add another, and let us say United States. I'll answer this. This is not other. This is United States. When I'm going to click on an image, I can either upload it. I have a camera option where I can click it from a camera, or I can even take it as a URL, or I can select it from my photos, from my Google Drive, or I can even search on Google. So for example, I didn't have that. Let me click on Google image search and USA flag. Let me use this. Insert. Okay. Now let me add another option. Let us say United Kingdom. Now externally, I have searched for, let us say, United Kingdom flag. Images. I'll copy this link. So rather than inserting an image, I can even put an URL to. So it says cannot find it because this is from a Google search. The best way is always to upload it. That is a safer option. Anyway, so let me remove this option now. If I want to remove any option, there's a small cross mark over here. Now, anytime when you have multiple choice, there is a possibility of an other. And when an other is clicked, they have to select that option and then enter their actual answer. And again over here, I'm making this as required. So moving on, the next question that what we saw was which products do you use? Now, because this is a long list, let me try to import this question. Is sorry, give me pardon me this. Sometimes even I also forget. Okay, I'll try to come back to that of how to import a question. Let me try to create it once again. So this is a checkbox. So what were the ones? Gmail, Android, okay. So again, this is required. And the last question was, how often do you use a survey to collect information? Here we take a linear scale, and 1 being never and 5 being very often, and make this also as required. Once I have finished creating all the questions and I'm happy with it, in case I need to reorder anything, I can always use hover over a question and move it across. I'm now happy with it. All I have to now do is click on send to share it. When I click on send, it is now asking me, how do you want to send this? Do you want to send it by an email? Do you want to send it as a link to somebody? Or do you want to embed this into your website? Now let us say I take this as a link. Now when you select as a link, you have an option to shorten the URL. So if you click on this, the URL becomes quite short, and I copy this, and this is what I shared in the chat. Now, within this option, you can see that I have an option to collect email address. If you check this, then this is the first thing that it will ask. So this has been some of the basics. Before I move on, I can take any questions for the first aspect.
If anyone is having a
Anybody has
question,
questions?
yeah, please raise hand.
It's not a question. This is Priya Srinivas here. So before you move on to the next one, if you can quickly recap what you have said. So if we have not missed out on anything, I think it would be good for all of us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I had the same request. Thank you.
I had the same request too.
Okay. So do you want me to redo the entire thing or just cover the major
quickly,
points?
A quick
just
recap.
Quick recap, please. Thank you. We just joined like
on
at
this-
1:02. Thank you.
To answer what you just asked, Arun, the meaning of what I said is that it shows questions, responses. If you told us when to use questions, when to use responses, and it says untitled question, what kind of questions can we put there, and how best can we utilize our multiple choices? So basically, an understanding of when what can be implemented. That will just be a little bit of understanding.
Okay. Now I have one more that it is coming over here. Right. This is an untitled form.
Right.
Every question has a response. Right. When you talk about Google Forms, the fundamental aspect of a Google form is a question and an answer. And every answer has a particular type. If we take a question paper, when I was young, when I was attending my boards, I used to have these new type questions or objective type questions where I had to select A, B, C, or D, one of them, right? And then I get descriptive answers. So when you are creating a question, you will also understand, or you need to know what kind of answer are you seeking for. Now, if I'm going to ask, okay, city of residence. Now, what do you think would be the best option to use? Should we use a short answer? Should we use a multiple choice? Should we use a checkbox? And tell me why. Any one of you can answer this question, what I'm asking.
I can answer this. I could try. I think the best option should be short answer and giving a space, because then it would reach various people and they would enter the city and the district where they are responding from, rather than giving them a drop down or a multiple choice where the question itself becomes very big.
Okay. Remember,
am I right?
There's always an objective to a survey. The reason why we ask for city of residence is that in case we are conducting a regular classroom, then we would probably conduct it in a place where we get more responses for the city of residences. Now, I would choose a multiple choice, but the simple reason is Bombay can be written as like Mumbai, or it can be written as Bombay, or it could be even written this way. Or let us take Bangalore. Okay. This is a very old formal way of writing Bangalore, but some people write it this, and many of us have an option of writing as Belor. Technically, everything is Bangalore, but for a person who's going to consume this data, all these three are the same. So rather, I would put it as Bangalore. I would put it as Mumbai, Delhi, and then I'll give let me delete this, and then I'll give an option of other. If it is anything other than Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, then he has to select the other and type it across. Now, by presenting it in this particular way, it is more likely that if a person is residing in Bangalore, he would select the option Bangalore. If I would have given it as a short text, then with a dot, without a dot, all these are different pieces of data. I hope I have answered it. And this comes with experience.
Absolutely. Got the answers. Yes, I agree with you, Arun.
Okay. So this was the first question.
Thank you.
So this is one of the recap. Every question has an answer type. you have to choose your answer type basis of what kind of responses that you're getting and what do you want to do with the data that you're going to get. Now, if I take the next question.
There is one more question
How
in the
often,
chat if you can check, Arun. Sorry,
if
it's
you
in
can read out.
private. Yeah, it's privately. So okay. So Manish is asking that can we add the watermark also in the form?
If you can.
No, he's
Watermark.
asking watermark. Can we add the watermark also in the forms? Like people are having their brands, or maybe they want to write something in the background, confidential or anything or sample. So is it
Okay.
also possible in the Google Forms?
Wonderful. Now that was the next aspect which I anyway wanted to cover. Since the question has come up, let me try to customize this form. Now, this is a standard purple color of a form. Here, you can select the theme. Now, when you choose the theme, what are the things that you get? One is you can choose a header image. Okay. Now, I can either choose an image from one of these collections, or I can create my own image.
Arun, where did you go and select this? If you can just go back again.
Yes. Here
Okay,
you can click
Okay.
on
Arun,
customize theme.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
where should I go?
Right hand corner.
Right hand corner, customize.
Yes, there is a drop down. Customize.
Okay. If
It
you're
doesn't say customize.
using a mobile to watch this particular video, I would suggest you to use it in landscape mode. Then it is much more visible.
Okay, no, I'm using my laptop. Apart from I've logged into my phone, and I'm using my laptop, but I'm not able to see the option customize.
Yeah, it's hidden behind the live on Facebook icon.
Okay, so let me try to resize the form, resize the image. Now here you can see this is a customized theme.
Okay, that's the customize. The palette. Okay, great.
Yes. So would this help?
Yes, it did.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. Now it'll be very clunky for me, but it's okay. Let me try to help you out, guys. Now, so coming back, I'm customizing the theme. Now, first one is to choose an image. Here you can see that the various kinds of images it is asking me. You can either choose one of these images, or I have a way of doing things. If you have PowerPoint, what does it say? It says, please. Is my PowerPoint visible to you?
No.
So you have to do the other screen share, Arun.
No.
Okay, just give me a second.
Yes, now visible.
So basically I take a blank slide. I use anything, whatever I want. Let me use this. Sorry for the spelling mistake. And I'm basically inserting an image. Okay. Let me use this Google form itself as an image. This is just one way of creating an image. Okay. It's not necessarily this is the only way you have to use. I select both, group it, and select this and say save as picture. I have to go back to desktop, Google Form tutorials, sample header has saved it. Going back to the Google Forms. Let me stop the image that I have created. And click on done. You can now see that images got added. I hope it answers the question. The person who has asked the question can respond, please.
Sir, good afternoon, Manish this side. Sir, it is coming on as a header. I was just looking at, is it possible to have it on the as a watermark on the whole page, whole survey?
I am not aware, sir.
Okay, thank you so very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Right, done. Thank you.
Next question.
Hi Arun, this is Aarti. I had a question.
Yes. Yes, Aarti.
Arun, now that we've created this link, okay, so if I have to create a hyperlink on LinkedIn, which will directly take me to this Google form in a post that I post on LinkedIn, how do I do it?
Exactly the same way I did it on the chat window. You remember the survey form you have answered?
Right.
Now what I did, now of course this is V2. You will click on send. Once you click on send, you can you could choose the URL option. Okay.
Right.
You can either use the large link or you can select shorten
URL.
link and copy this URL and put it into your
LinkedIn post.
Yes.
All right. So that's how I get a direct hyperlink which will connect the LinkedIn post to the Google form. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, Siddharaju. Okay. We are already at 2:45. Can I move on to the next aspect? No. Okay. Somebody had a question?
Siddharaju, if you can write in the chat, that will also do. Yeah.
I think go ahead right now. You're all okay.
Okay. Now, so let me start again from a fresh form. Now, before with that, I wanted to go back and do a cross check. So we have covered image-based answers. Somehow import questions is not working. I will send you a description of how you can import. We have created
one thing at the ad. It can be before, where you are adding the question. There is an arrow below it. We can import from there also. I have just checked when I have opened my Google form.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Most welcome, sir.
So there is an arrow form.
From the where we add the question, yes, like yeah.
Yes, import questions. Sometimes I forget. Okay, so if I select from the survey form, and I can select which one. Yeah, right. So I can select this.
Can you repeat where we have to go for that?
Yes, I'll repeat that. Let me delete this entire thing.
Sure, thank you.
As we come to a new form, you have this add a question, right? And the second option called as import questions. So I select this, and then it is showing me the list of forms that I have created. So let me take this survey form, select, and now it's saying within the survey form version 2, which is the one that you want to import. So let's say I want to import this, I want to import your name, email, and I import these 3 questions.
If I
And
may say something here, Arun,
yes.
uh, your window shows many options. Okay. When I'm sitting and using it on my system, since I have never done it before, it is not showing me any templates like how it was showing you, survey form like that. And
That is
even on the right
because
hand side, there is no list of questions because I've never done it before. So, is there any way of, any way that Google helps you to frame your questions, or it offers you a
oh
template for a
yes,
question
oh
survey?
yes.
Anything like
If
that?
you want to, there's yet another way of starting with Google Forms. Okay, you can go to forms.google.com. Now, when you go to forms.google.com, first of all, it will show you whatever forms that you have used, either you have created or it has been shared by somebody else. And then you have various templates like a party invite, RSVP, contact information, etc. So you can choose one of
Thank you
these
so
as
much.
your starter forms.
Like in this, there will also be a survey form or something like that.
You can have a look at it, ma'am.
Fair enough.
Templates are
Thank you
there,
so much.
right?
Yeah, there are a lot of templates that are there. So you can choose one of them and use it.
The Siddharaju's question was that is it possible to incorporate PIN code along with country of residence?
If you're looking at PIN code as an idea of by entering PIN code, it should choose the state and it should choose the city or something like that. It is possible, but there you will have to write some amount of backend code.
Coding
You can always add any number of fields. I think so Siddharaju has understood my answer. So now I will move on. We are already at close to 3 o'clock. I have two more very important ones to finish. So the first one is to create a, so after you have created a form like this, now people are going to be interested. Now you have to create an enrollment form. Now, how is an enrollment form different from that of a regular form? You could exactly use the same style of representing things, but in case of an enrollment, typically there will be many more questions, and sometimes you may want to have one single form to enroll students into multiple courses. So I'm going to take an example where you create one form, but you're taking questions for two different courses and what I call as a conditional flow. Okay. This is going to be a little bit more advanced than the first one. So again, I go to form.new. I am creating an enrollments for let us say course A. Rather than using course A and course B, let us say I want people to enroll for advanced Excel, comma, let us say Google Forms, right? You can use this form to enroll into one of the courses and not both. I'm giving that instructions. So first things I'm going to ask name. It's a short answer. It is required. Then I'll also add email. And this time I'm going to enable the email setting. So here, when I say enable email setting, collect email addresses, that is going to be the first one. Okay. Now after name, next I ask, what is the course? So now this has come in a wrong way. Let me drag and drop this below. Okay. Which course do you want to enroll? Okay, option 1 is advanced Excel, and second one is Google Sheets. Okay, it's a multiple choice, and this goes below. Now, after I have added this, I am going to add a section. Now, a section is basically a logical break or a logical container of questions. Now, after section, so this is the section name. So this is a section for advanced Excel course. Now, within that, let me add which of the following topics are you interested in?
Can I interrupt you here 1 minute?
Yes.
When you are adding this caption of section 2 of 2, and then there is a description of the 2 sections, and then again you're adding a question of which of the following are you interested in, where are you going and picking up those little windows to create?
Here on the right hand side, this is for adding a question.
So each time I go to add a question and frame that.
Yes. This is for importing the questions, and this is for adding the title and description. If you want to add any images, if you want to add videos, and this is for adding a section.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let us say, which of the following are you interested in macros? Which of the following topics are you interested? Are you interested in macros? Are you interested in what if scenarios? And would you want to learn VLOOKUP / HLOOKUP? Integration with SQL Server / Oracle databases. By the way, these are all some of the things that what I have learned. The same thing, the CUT principle, customer, user, and teach. I have done all of these things. Now, let me add one more question. Which version of Excel are you using? So option 1 is, let's say, from Office 365, and next one is Microsoft Excel 2017. I'll say others. Sorry, I should not use add. I'll add others this and remove this option. Okay, now, so this is my second question for the Excel course alone. Next, I'm going to create the third section by using this big equal to mark. And this is the section for Google Sheets. And I'm going to add a question for within Google Sheets. What features of Google Sheets do you wish to learn? Formulas.
Can you repeat how you, sorry, Arun, can you repeat how you created this Google Sheets?
By clicking on this add section button.
Where is that? Add section. Thank you.
Okay, so which features of Google Sheets do you wish to learn? Let's say formulas, and then you would want to say text conversions, text to number conversions, and integration with data sources such as Oracle SQL Server. Okay. And okay, let's just keep only 3, and the fourth one, let's give it as others. sorry, others. Now, what the questions are is not important. It's just for me to show you that how it works. Okay, I'm making everything as required. Let me put one more question into Google Sheets. Okay, after this, I want one more last question. Yes, which browser do you intend to use during the program? Let's say Internet Explorer. If they are using, we will always tell them to use, sorry, please use Chrome. If you are using Firefox, it is fine. And as well as if you're using Edge, and within brackets, it's the latest version. That's also fine. But in case they are using anything like Safari, that is also fine. So as a trainer, I would want to be clear of what they are using. And if they're going to use something incorrect, like an Internet Explorer, I will tell them it's the preferred one as Chrome. Let's say this is also required. And after that, I create the last section. And this is going to be a common section. Okay, in the common section, I'll create a question. Say anything else you want to let us know. This is going to be a paragraph. And this is not going to be required. This should be good enough. How do I? Now, section 1 is going to be common for everybody. Section 2 should be used only when a person selects advanced Excel. Section 3 should be used only when they select Google Sheets over there, right? Now here, first of all, we make this as required. And
Arun,
okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just had a question.
Let me just finish this last step and then I'll answer your question, please.
Sure.
So wherever you want to do a condition, first of all, make this as required. Click on these 3 dots. There's an option called as go to section based on an answer. Now, when I select this, immediately there are some more options that come up. In advanced Excel, I will say go to section 2, and in Google Sheets, I'll say go to section 3. So after section 2, I will also specify after section 2, don't continue to the next section, but please go to the section 4, which is common. And after Google Sheets, anyway, we can either select this or leave it. It's one and the same, common section. Now, once I have finished this, I can click on send. Yes, before I move on, let me know what was the question.
Yeah, thanks, Arun. My question was, suppose the person enrolls in the first sheet, the first section, and the person does not want to enroll for an advanced Excel course, but directly wants to enroll for the Google Forms, whatever. No, what was it? Google Sheets. Wants to learn Google Sheets. So, is there just because you added, that person could jump to a section? So, will that person be able to not fill the advanced Excel sheet and directly go to the Google, sheet?
Arti, let me finish this because I have not yet finished this topic. We have to still see as to how this is going to work.
Okay.
Okay. Now, so let me just save
your
this.
Question. Can I interrupt you, Arun? I'm sorry. Just one caption where you checked on the conditional flow point, where you gave us the option of based on these conditions, this will apply. How to pick that again?
When you go over here, you click these 3 dots. I'm still hovering it on it. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes,
and then you can see that go to section based on answer.
Fantastic. Thank you, Arun.
Okay. Now, I like to always use the section names because for me that is very logical. Okay. Either you can say continue to next section, so on and so forth. But I want to be very clear from section 1, section 2, section 3. When I'm designing the form itself, okay, there's a logical flow what I have thought of. Don't worry, it looks difficult, but when you do it, you can do it in a jiffy. Now let us see as to how it works. In information technology, one of the things is code once, test twice. It is similar to if you have done carpentry or tailoring, okay, measure twice, cut once. But in IT, it is code once, test at least minimum twice. So what I would always do is I go to a preview like this. Okay, now this is where I'm doing the testing for the first time. So here I am going to end.
Arun, can you just go back? How did you come to the preview?
Yes, I'll do that once again. Here on the top, you can see there is a preview button. Okay.
Okay.
Now I am previewing it in my own browser. So let me put an email address. So email.domain.com is the format. It says it's invalid because this is not a dot, but this is at symbol. Right? Now name, it says it's required question. This is, so let's say participant 1. Which course do I want to enroll? Now here you can see that the remaining sections are not being shown. Now if I select advanced Excel and then click on next, it is going to the advanced Excel course questions. Let's say I am interested in macros and integration and I'm using Office 365. And when I click on next, it says it has gone to the comment section. The person answering doesn't know what the other section actually exists. Okay, here is some sample information given in the end. So I click on submit. Now let me try to click submit another response. But this time what I will do is I will try to test it the second time. We know that to send it, we can click on send and we click on the link button and shorten URL. There is a button over here called as copy. And here I will open something called as a new incognito window. This is black in color is because it is not going to use any kind of cookies or any other temporary files that may have been created. Sometimes what happens is it works in my login, but I want to know whether it will work in anybody else's login too. Now it's working fine. So this is incognito at window.com. Okay. Name
so
2.
You just copied that URL into this window.
Yes, correct. But remember, I'm doing it in an incognito window, which basically this computer will differentiate between this session and that session. So name 2 for our reference. And this I will say, this time I want Google Sheets and I click on next. Okay. Now here, let me say I want text to number conversions and I want, okay. So then I've used a wrong answer type over here. It should have been multiple checkboxes, but in any case, now that we have done, we have done. And I say I'm using Chrome and I click on next and I say, hey, I would like to learn more features, but the form allows me to choose only one. Okay, click on submit. And let me submit one more response. Third try, third at try.com. This is the third try. Let's say again, advanced Excel. Let's say I'm interested in everything. And again, here I'm using others. I'm using Office 2007, an old version. Okay, I click on next. This was entered in an incognito window. Submit. Open for questions on how we are creating enrollments. I can take further questions before I move to the next aspect of things.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, yes,
Arun?
please.
Okay. So now when we went to the various options, we sent a link and we shorten the URL and we copy it. And then we open a new incognito window. For what purpose are we opening this new incognito window? Can you explain to me?
Many a time what happens is in my computer, but when I send this URL to somebody else, it does not work in the same way. What happens in the background is whenever we do work on our computers, right? There are a lot of cookies and temporary files that are stored. So sometimes it works correctly for us and it does not work correctly for the people whom we send. So just to be sure, I use an incognito window. This is purely my personal preference and it is what my experience has shown. It is not mandatory. I'm just giving you a what is the right thing to do from my perspective, ma'am.
So it's for testing.
So when I open this incognito window, can I just finish my question, please? Can you hear me, Arun?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So when you say this incognito window, you typed over there incognito at window.com. Was that just something you used, or was that really a meaningful address that you typed?
It was something that I wanted to use. It's an email address, right?
Okay, because I got confused when you said at window.com. So I said, is this something like a
No,
real
no,
thing,
it is
or is it
some.
something
I
just
have
for the heck
to.
of it?
I have to give it some junk
Okay, cool.
data, right?
Yeah. Got you. Done. Thank you. That is all. Thank you.
Okay. Somebody else had a question.
So this incognito window, we are using it for testing purpose only.
Yes.
Arun, I have a question. I have seen people using Google Forms as a enrollment form. They somehow link it and use it in place of the registration form that's available within Zoom. So how does that combination work?
What you can do is when you click on send, okay, you have this URL, the shortened URL.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, of course, this is a technical question, but I can answer it for you. Let me create a very, very basic HTML form. Okay.
Sure.
Let me call this as index.html. So yes, and then I open. Sorry. Click here. Sorry. Of course, this is beyond this program, but just in case you want to do it,
Sure.
click
Thank you.
here to register. Okay.
So you need to know coding to do this bit of it, right?
Yes, this is purely coding, but just to answer the question, that's it. And the people will see something like this. Okay. And when you say click here to register, it opens the form. I hope I have answered it.
Yeah, so that means we need to be able to know coding to create this link.
A little bit, yeah. But otherwise, how do you see the typical ways how I normally give these links? See, I can share the link on WhatsApp. I can share the link on Facebook as is.
As is for the
You really don't
form
need
link
to do it
itself.
this way. You can,
Yeah.
yeah, you can obviously put the link. See, if I open a simple notepad,
yeah,
you can just give this link and you can write it in regular text. Please click on the link below. Right?
So when the people provide their email address through this form, then one by one you send them the Zoom meeting link to their email addresses,
no,
right? That's
no,
a manual work then.
Hold on. That is still, it's part of the course coverage what I have to do. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. I have only 15 more minutes. So I'm going to request Swati as to what you want me to do. There's one huge topic that I had to cover about creating a quiz. And then of using Google response sheets. We are at just 15 more minutes to 3:30. Swati, what do you want me to do?
Sorry to interrupt.
May I?
So Arun, if it is not part of, it's not the agenda for the program today, it's okay, we can skip it. My only question is that I can go and figure it out myself later. My only question is that the automatic responses will be sent to the emails that they have put, the people have put in their form. Is that right?
You want a response to be sent to the person who is enrolled in this, is it?
Yeah, because they need to be sent the Zoom meeting link, right? So they are using this form to register themselves for the program, but they also need the meeting link.
Okay, so let me explain that. I can finish very quickly. What you can do is you can, yeah, I think so. That is beyond the agenda what I had fixed, but it's quite easy. It's quite easy to send out a response.
Would you be also showing us how this also, like, a lot of people use a payment mode to do a payment.
Yes,
right?
yes, that is exactly what I wanted to modify this for.
Okay.
Okay. Now, how do you accept payments? Okay. The easiest way to accept payments is through a Razorpay. I am not a person selling Razorpay or anything like that. There are multiple ways. One is a Razorpay and second one is a PhonePe. Okay. Now, unfortunately,
what about
I don't
GPay?
have GPay to use if you have your QR code of GPay, then it's easy.
So we have to add a QR code in the end of the form or somewhere.
Yes. So let me modify this with when I want to ask for a payment. Okay. Now, let's say, am I in preview mode? No, I'm not in preview mode. After this advanced Excel course and things like that, now this is where I'm going to ask for a payment. Okay. Now the payment could be either one and the same. Let's say the payment is one and the same for both Google Chrome and this one. And in the comment section, let me add it over here. Okay. Now what you can do is, after a comment section, sorry, let me do it in a different way. Delete this. I'll add a section called as payments. So here I will click on the link below. Sorry, I have to use text. Click on the link provided for making payment. Now, if you have used Razorpay, Let me add this and make this as a, sorry, not this one. You can use this. Sorry, this is not forms, but I have already made note of Razorpay. I'm a Razorpay user, so I have this. I have a link that has been created. Of course, creating a Razorpay link is beyond the scope of this. Either you could do it this way, or then you can specify an image. I want to add an image, and let me do a Google search for a sample Google Pay QR code. Okay. Scan this to make a payment. Make note of the reference number. Let me delete this. This is not required. After that, I'll say, after making payment, this is not a text. Sorry. Enter your payment reference number here. Okay. And this is a short answer, and this is required. Okay, now let's see as to how this works. So I enter some mail.
Arun, I had a question here. For making this, we have used a QR code from the Google, like a dummy one.
Yeah.
But for us to have a real-time transaction, how to create those aspects in Razor and stuff like that? I think this is part of the
You can always do a Google search of Razorpay. It's pretty simple. You can sign up for Razorpay, and there are a lot of videos within Razorpay on how to use it. One of the videos is how do you create a link.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Arun.
Arun, is Razorpay similar to InstaMojo? That's another payment method. Is it similar to that one?
I have been an InstaMojo user earlier, but I discontinued using InstaMojo for the last 3 years, and I am a recent Razorpay user, so I cannot do a apple-to-apple comparison. But InstaMojo, when I was using, the charges was quite high.
Sure.
And
Thank you.
I am not aware of its current situation here. Let me not tell something which I don't know.
Sure. So Arun, you were telling us how automatically emails will be sent to the participants with the meeting link.
Let me try to cover that. Let me just finish this, please.
Arun, just check your chat box also.
Okay. There are too many things that I am trying to. Where did I add multiple questions or linear? Let me finish this and then let me take up the questions and chat and everything else. So I'm just going to select Microsoft Excel over here and click on next. And okay, this comment section is gone for some reason. Yes. Now this is the link that I have to click on and make the payment. Now when I click on this, if you see, what happens is it says payment request for Arun Kumar. Okay, then this is the Razorpay process. Okay, I'm not going to proceed with this, but it's just to show you that yes, just by clicking that link, it's moving on. I should have probably said, please copy paste this link into a different tab. And or I should use a scanner from my phone pay or Google Pay and scan on this and make a payment. And once I make a payment, I enter the reference number over here and click on submit. Yeah. Now I'm open to questions. Swati, the quiz part is going to take a pretty good 30 minutes for me. You let me know what you want me to do.
I request that you finish off with this, whatever is going on, and let's take all the questions today. We can always plan another session for you.
We
Where,
can do a part
yeah,
two
because
of this
let's,
version, Swati.
that's what I'm saying, Priya. Let's finish off whatever is going on, because the people should not leave with the questions in their head. So let's understand
correct.
whatever he is telling today and finish off all the questions.
I think that makes sense, Swati.
Thank you,
Because,
Swati.
you know, too much of information also for us, it's going to be
Yes.
cluttered also.
Absolutely. So let's stick to this only, Arun. That maybe we can plan some other session later. And
Okay,
let's
fine.
finish off with the questions, because there are so many questions I can see in the chat.
Okay, if you can help me question by question, because I'm sharing my screen, going to
No
different
problem.
places, it would be easy.
Yeah, Arun, you were going to tell us about how the emails are automatically sent, because you know this Zoom thing is very popular these days. So my reason for joining today was also to know how you can link the Google form to the Zoom thing.
And also, Arun, how does this whole thing, you know, get, supported into, how are we going to get the data back, the response back? That's
Yeah,
something.
extracting data on an Excel sheet or something so that we are aware of who's registered.
Can we go by the raised hand option, please? Because you all are speaking, but I think Arun is not able to answer all the questions together. Let's follow the discipline what we follow each day by doing the raise hand option. So I can see Karina's raised hand. Arun, are you there? Okay, I think Arun got disconnected. Just allow some time for him to come back.
Hello.
Swati, just before Arun comes back, so the parts that we have not covered, are you saying that we are going to have a different session altogether?
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I was on hold. He's joining back, and the part he just left the quiz. I think if you will be able to understand what he told you today, you know, the rest thing is very easy, because we have to, you know, a little bit we have to explore the thing. So if
Yeah,
you
but he
explore,
said
even
that's
you can.
because quiz
Yeah,
is
he
also
planned.
important.
Absolutely, he planned as an agenda. So we will try and do one more session with him.
That'd be
Let's see
really
which.
lovely, Swati, because I think quizzes are very popular. And I think if he's going to say that it's going to spend about half an hour, I think it makes sense to do a session by itself. And any other questions that got left out today can be covered on that day also.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, he's joining back. He just called me up. He got disconnected. Extracting the data, someone was asking, so that even that's very easy, that you can extract the data. That's what he was saying, that you can extract it in the Excel, you can extract it in the Google Sheets also, where the option is available over there.
Hi, Swati. I have rejoined.
Yeah, thanks Arun for rejoining. So we have some raised hand. I'm just unmuting one by one. So Karina Bambani is there. Karina, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So just I want to ask when I'm preparing the Google form and I want to send it to my students, I'm using the Zoom platform. So should I shorten the link and paste in the chat option, or first I need to browse it or save it on Drive?
You can copy the link and send it in the channel that you want. You can either send it as your WhatsApp broadcast, as in
Okay.
anything of your choice.
But if I want, when I'm teaching them, and suppose I want to ask them few questions, or I have made a small worksheet in the form of multiple choice question, I want to do when I'm teaching, going on teaching on the Zoom platform. At that time, I can't share
You
on the
can.
chat option.
I shared in the beginning, right?
Okay. Sir, I joined late because I came to know exactly 2:40, so I joined 2:45.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And so regarding that quiz also, if you will conduct again, now you are telling regarding us the quiz, I have some few questions on that also. You are showing us now how to go for the quiz form.
Like we mentioned, we have actually run out of time. Swati will probably arrange one more session on the quiz aspect.
Sir.
The participants have said
that.
Sir. Let's do a different session. It will be easier for them to observe.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Swati ma'am.
Thank you, no problem. So we have Bharat who has another question. Please unmute and ask Bharat.
Hi, actually, I'm logged in from husband's. This is Mala. Hello, Arunji. Thank you so much for a lot of good information. My question has been the same throughout. How do we? So I've seen a lot of trainers. They are creating invites, and when you click on the link, it takes you to the Google form. And in the Google form, they fill up their email addresses. Now, I want to use the same methodology, and I want to know, will the will it be automatically, the Zoom link will be automatically sent to those email addresses, or is it a manual work that when we extract the data from Google form, then one by one we send the Zoom meeting link to each of the participants?
Okay. Can I park this question for the next time? When I'm going to do the quiz part, I will cover that.
Okay, sure, that's fine, Arunji.
Thank you, Mala. We have Dimple who has a question. Dimple, please unmute and ask the question.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dimple Sakuja. And my question is, like, I have created Google form and now I have clicked on automatic reply. The reply which is going to all the mails is something which is already created and the form which they filled. I want my mail created by myself to go to everyone automatically. Can that be done, or I have to send the mails manually to everyone?
Since you already know how to create an auto response, right?
Yes.
When you collect email IDs, you always have the option of auto response, which anyway I am planning to show it in the next session. So I am not able to comprehend your question, because in your auto response you are already choosing what you want to send.
Yeah, auto reply is there, but the reply is just that you have filled the form and this is the form that you filled.
When I show you the auto reply, okay, I will show you some of the additional aspects of how we do a auto reply. Okay.
And what exactly we want, that can also be created. So you'll be taking it in the next
that
session.
I'll take in the next session.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dimple. So Paul, please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Paul, just hold on. Swati, I need another 5 minutes because there is a last aspect which I have to show. Because whatever we have done at the end of the day, how is the data appearing for us, for a person who's created the form? I need to show that.
Can we take Paul's question and we show that and close it?
Yes.
Yeah, well, actually, my question is something related to what he just said. It's just that, like, you see, I am a frequent user of Google Forms. In fact, like, I create a lot of forms on a daily basis. And so, like, So one thing which I would like to ask is that, like, when you go ahead, for example, you get a lot of responses, and then in those particular responses, the when you create obviously those responses are being generated also on the Google Sheet with, parallelly as well, because when we are exporting those responses as a Google Sheet, it gets there. Now my question is, if at all you go ahead and delete a response over here from the responses window of Google Forms, and then you go to that particular Google Sheet over there, you find that, that particular thing is still not there. It's not deleted over there in the Google Sheet yet. So is there any way that you can go ahead and delete it simultaneously from here?
Okay, this is a little bit advanced, and I don't think so many participants will understand. While I understand you, Paul, these are some of the nitty-gritties. Probably if I can do a one-on-one session, or I will leave it up to Swati as to how I can continue this particular question, because I can't do it in this particular forum as of now.
Okay.
Paul can send me the question and we can
Right,
take
but
it.
yes, it's a known issue, and there's a workaround to it.
You can conclude
Yeah.
the session, Arun, by showing the form.
Yeah. So, can you
Thank you, Paul.
enable? Yeah, can you enable sharing of my screen, please?
Yeah, it's enabled already. You are a co-host.
No,
Acha, you rejoined. Okay.
I rejoined, right? So, okay, thank you. So I'm sharing my entire screen again. So let me take where we left it out. Yes. So. Well, I'm an avid user of Google Keep too. You guys can always use a Google Keep to make notes, and the same thing appears both in your mobile and as well as your phone. So going back to forms.google.com. So let me see what are the various forms that I have created today. Registration. Is this the one? Yes. Now here you can see this was the first form that I had sent it to you. Okay, and I'd asked each one, I had given around 5 minutes to respond. I have received a total of 27 responses. Now, when you click on responses, there are various ways in which you can see responses. Either you can look at the summary, or you can look at the responses for a specific question. Okay, let's say I want to only see what is the country of residence. So 27 out of 27 responses has been India. But if I look at which products of Google do you use, the first person said everything else. Okay, then 4 responses, so on and so forth. Okay, if I click on individual, this is what the first person answered. Okay, if I want these, not only these 3, there is yet another way of seeing the responses called as the Google spreadsheet. Now I have not yet created the spreadsheet. So when I click on create spreadsheet, I can either create a new spreadsheet or I can select an existing spreadsheet. What happens is the questions will be the same, but let's say I do it for session 1, which was held in Jan. The same session I hold it again in let us say Feb. The third session I do it March. Every month I have a different session. I keep creating different Google Sheets with the same responses. Rather than having it in different files, I have the option of creating it into one single spreadsheet in different tabs. In any case, let us try to create a new spreadsheet now. I'm clicking on the spreadsheet. It is now linking it to a spreadsheet. Here now you can see that the way how the data is organized is, although we have not created any specific field. The first field that is shown is the timestamp. When was the exact date and time that this was created? And for each and every question that was asked, the data in data format or in an Excel format is stored. Now, for example, if you see in country of residence, we had shown a pictorial representation, but the pictorial representation is not for from the data perspective. It is more from a end user perspective. And if there are multiple choice questions like a checkboxes, the data appears as comma separated values. The linear table question comes as numbers. Okay. Now, one of the things that what you can do after you have received this, you can use these email IDs to send across emails at one single shot or however you deem to fit. Some of the people, what they do is once they have this information, okay, you can do a mail merge using Google Docs. That is yet another way of sending across personalized emails, because anyway you have a name of the person, you have the email ID of the person. So whatever you want to send, you send it across as an email, personalized email. So this is as far as the Google Sheets is concerned. Remember, this is a Google Sheet that is connected to a Google form. How do you know? Typically, when you see over here, there is this icon saying that this has been a part of form responses. Yes, I think so. There are a couple of questions on this. If there are no questions, there's one last thing which I want to do. Is I want to give a link to a particular questionnaire and you can answer it at any point of time that you want. Just give me a second. Yes, this is the quiz form. So this will make you understand of what a quiz means and how is it different from a regular form. I am now sharing that on the chat window. So please copy this URL and respond to this particular quiz in your free time. Swati, I think so.
Yes,
with
sir.
this, we can conclude the session.
All right. Thank you so much. I can't see the link, Arun. It's in chat.
Oh, sorry. I have shared it. Let me share it to everyone. I didn't see that it was shared to one person.
Yeah, now it is there.
Thank you very much for being a wonderful audience. And I really like the various questions that were placed to me. Some of them were challenging and I hope I have answered all your queries. And best of luck to use Google Forms.
Thank you so much, Arun. That's a very, very informative session, and you know, people need to explore more by themselves because there are so many options which are available, and it's difficult to understand in one go without practicing it. Few of the trainers are practicing side by side on their laptop. But then if you just, I'm also going to share the YouTube link. Maybe you can again watch what all has was done by Arun, and you can try it at your home. Only then the next session is going to be more fruitful for all of you. So this is a request from my side, and even I think Arun also wants the same thing. That, you know, until and unless you practice, it is not going to help. So just try the options which is available, and we will try and schedule one more session with the quizzes which Arun has planned for today. And thank you so much, Arun, again, and thank you all the participants who are here. I think we should close now. It's 3:43. We are already ahead of time. And thank you again. That's Dr. Swati from Trainers Club. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you, Swati. Nice.
Thank you, Arun.
you.
Thank you, Swati.
Thank you.